Willkommen! My girlfriend Issa and I just got back from a week-long trip to an all-inclusive resort in Turkey, and it was amazing. If you haven't checked out the 5 best parts of the trip video, check it out in the description. But just because it was an amazing trip doesn't mean it was perfect. Here's the 5 worst parts about our trip to Turkey. Before we get started, an honorable mention to our front door that had a hideous, terrifying, loud as squeaking noise anytime you opened or closed it. It gave me nightmares. On to the top 5. Number 5, the chair vultures. Inevitably, with any public pool, any resort, any hotel, you have to fight for your property. Or, in this case, you have to fight for your chairs to sit on at the pool. So obviously people come along, they put a little flip-flop on their chair at 6 in the morning, and then they go back to sleep for a couple of hours, then they go to breakfast, and then they maybe putz around in their room, and then, oh, it's lunchtime, let me go get lunch, and then next thing you know, it's the afternoon. Now they're gonna come, take their sandal off, put it down, and now they're gonna relax at the pool all afternoon, and nobody can use that chair the whole day. So at times, you had to get creative if you didn't want to wake up at the crack of dawn to claim your spot for the entire day. Luckily, I'm very sneaky and I was able to commandeer some chairs for us every day, but it was not easy. Pools, resorts, hotels, get more chairs. This is a thing everywhere in the world. Just get more chairs. Get more chairs. Number 4, worst part of our trip to Turkey. There were so many pushy salesmen. A little sneak peek into the 5 best parts about the Turkey trip. Shopping was one of the things on the 5 best things about the trip. If you are walking around any of the bazaars or basically like the shopping mall type of places, you are going to be getting approached and probably nagged by everybody that works at every store in that entire building. They see you coming from a mile away. They know you're a tourist. They know you got money. They know what you're looking for, the cheap clothes, the cheap luggage, whatever it is, and they want to take all of your money and they will come to you to get it, which I don't really blame them for. I can't knock the hustle, but not really my style. We even had an incident with the man who drove the shuttle for the resort, picked us up from the airport and took us to the hotel. He was a resort employee. When we got out at the resort, he demanded a tip from us. I told him I don't have any cash, which we didn't. I know that we definitely should have cash on us for stuff like that or emergencies, but we didn't. And he refused to take no for an answer. He starts yelling at us on the front porch of the resort in front of all the workers there and the other guests there, in front of the full shuttle of other tourist people, and we're like, dude, we don't have money. You can yell at us all you want. We don't have any cash unless you want literal pennies. And we told him that 100 times. Look at our wallet. This is what we have. We have literal pennies. Do you want that? No, I'm sorry. We messed up. I don't know what you want me to do about it. Eventually, after like 5 minutes of yelling at us, he gave up, I guess, and left. But that was our first experience with anybody in Turkey, so that was interesting. Number 3, worst part about the trip. So while the room that we had with the swim-up pool was absolutely amazing, the pool itself was so cold. I felt like I was Jack from the Titanic every time I went in. It was like doing a polar bear plunge just to cool off.
It's too cold.
Luckily, it was super hot in Turkey, so it felt pretty good after you got in for like 5-10 minutes and you're kind of adjusted, but even then, you couldn't really stay in for that long because you would slowly get cold, even in the 90+ degree weather of Turkey. That being said, the room itself was still pretty cool. Number 2, worst part of our trip to Turkey. This is along the same lines, but we didn't actually have a balcony that was dry with our room. We had this beautiful room with this nice pool and the beautiful view and the beautiful weather and this, that, and the other thing, but we couldn't really sit outside in the back by ourselves with all this nice privacy and enjoy this nice room and enjoy this nice pool because we were constantly on top of water. There was nowhere to sit that you weren't in constant fear of sinking or going in the water or falling in or forgetting and putting your foot in or dropping your phone in or whatever the case may be. It would have been perfect if there was just a little tiny place just to put put 2 little chairs or something on dry land and then have the swim up pool. So then at night or something, if we don't want to get wet or we don't want to be in the pool, we can just sit back. We don't have to worry about being on top of water. That would have taken the room to a whole new level. And the number one worst part about our trip to Turkey, we had a special 1 night only 5-course meal at the resort's fancy restaurant that was totally separate from all the different buffets, all the different snack bars. And to be fair, the inside of this restaurant looks super nice. It only had about 5-10 tables in it, so it was very small, very nice, very quiet, relaxed atmosphere in comparison to the buffet, which was just absolute chaos at times. At any rate, we were very excited for this Italian 5-course meal at what looked to be this nice restaurant. The buffet food so far for the whole trip leading up to this night was so good. We were like, oh man, this is going to be even better. And then we got there and course after course came out. And let me tell you, disappointment was an understatement. I have literally had TV dinners that were better than this 5-course meal. It was so bad, it wasn't even Italian food, and we were done with it so quickly, we ended up just leaving the restaurant and walking directly into the buffet right after that. And yes, the buffet food was 10 times better than this restaurant's food. So those are the 5 worst parts of our trip to Turkey. If you haven't checked out the 5 best parts, be sure to do so. Like I said, it was still an absolutely amazing trip, maybe the best place I've ever stayed in my entire life, especially the resort and the room and everything. So check out the top 5 best parts of this trip. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.